Good afternoon. I'm Eva Mergen from Colonial Pennsylvania Plantation, and today I'm going to be talking to you about spinning on a great wheel. Now, you're more likely to encounter small wheels like this spinning wheel that I have here, and these are called flyer wheels. They get their name from the flyer mechanism, which is two arms surrounding a bobbin. The arms and the bobbin spin freely from one another, and this allows the yarn to wind onto the bobbin while it's being twisted. Flyer wheels also have a foot pedal, leaving two hands to prepare the fibers for spinning, which is called drafting. Now, the great wheel is a much older type of spinning wheel, and it is called a spindle wheel. It evolved directly from the hand spindles that were used to spin yarn for thousands of years before the spinning wheel was invented. If you look closely at the end of the great wheel, you'll see a spindle very much like my hand spindle. The main difference is that the round part, or the whorl, has grooves in it for a drive band that connect to this much larger wheel. You'll also see that the yarn runs up to the tip of that spindle. This is because to add twist to the yarn has to flick off the end of the spindle as it turns. Now, because of the large wheel and the drive band, I don't turn the spindle with my hand, but I turn it with the large wheel. This allows the spindle to turn much faster than it would if I were turning it by hand. You'll also see that the great wheel doesn't have a foot pedal. This means that this large wheel needs to be turned with one hand, leaving only one hand to prepare the fibers or draft them. This means that for spinning on the great wheel, we're going to use a long draw technique. And in the long draw technique, the twisting of the yarn is pulling fibers from my hand into the yarn that's being created. Now, you'll see that since there's no flyer to wind the yarn onto the spindle, I have to walk backwards to accommodate the increasing length of the yarn. This is where the spinning wheel gets one of its other names, which is a walking wheel. Now, because of that long draw technique, I actually can't add very much twist to the yarn initially, and so this piece of yarn right now isn't very strong. If I were to add a lot of twist right away, it would pull lots and lots of fibers from my hand, it would make a lumpy, thick yarn, and it would get tangled up by my hand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add more twist, which is going to strengthen this yarn, make it stronger. Now this yarn is ready to be wound onto the spindle. To do this, I'm going to turn the wheel back the other direction to unwind it from the tip of the spindle. Now I'm going to wind the yarn onto the spindle, back up to the tip, and I'm ready to start again. Now again, because of this long draw technique, this type of spinning wheel is more well suited to spinning short fibers like cotton and wool, which is where it gets a third name, which is the wool wheel. If you're going to spin longer fibers like flax or hemp, you're better off using a flyer wheel, which is where it gets its other name, which is a flax wheel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day.